Greetings from Chicagoland. You're listening to Munira's Musings, where your host Munira will showcase new guests each week to share exciting details about the journey to their niches. As we like to say, the riches are in the niches. And on this show, we'll share ideas on how to break through our invisible boundaries so we can start taking steps towards our dreams and create the life that we most desire. If you're passionate about impacting lives, then this podcast will give you some great ideas and equip you with the tools to quickly grow your business. Okay, let's get started with today's show. Here's your host, Munira.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, the Niche Navigator, coming to you live with another episode. Good morning, everybody. It has been a while, and it's been a new year. So happy new year to you. We are here because we're going to share a few things with you. You know that I have a guest every Thursday at 7:30, and we talk about different things and how people got to their niches. We've changed the focus a bit about Munira's Musings this morning because we wanted to bring you some things that are going to just blow your mind. My guest today is joining us all the way from India, Krishna Ji. Hi, Krishna. He is here, and he is a practitioner of Cialdini's Influence as well, certified trainer, just like I am. And we want to bring these segments to you because we thought you all need to learn about this well-kept secret. And here we are. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Krishna.
Wonderful. First of all, Munira, thank you so much for inviting me to this session, and I wish all the audience a very, very happy and exciting and fantastic new year. And just to let you know something about myself, I've been in sales management, and training for about 33 years now. And the first 17 years in sales, and the balance 16 years in sales and sales training. But I keep learning something or the other, as usual, to upgrade myself. But one such thing which I got fascinated was on the Dr. Robert Cialdini's influence on the psychology of persuasion. And that's how first one is that I did the ethical influence practitioner. And then I also became a Cialdini certified professional. And now I'm very, very happy to announce you that we are a Gold certified Cialdini Certified Training Institute in India. We are the agent to promote those Cialdini products in India as well. So that's a very happy and exciting news to share with all of you. Thank you so much.
So because I'm the Niche Navigator, the first thing I want to ask you is, what was the first thing you sold?
From the Cialdini Institute?
No. When you started your career in
sales. That's a fantastic one. That's a good question. You are recalling back to my memory days. I was in a pharma industry. In India, the pharma industry is about you go to doctor and promote the medical product in cardiology, and dermatology, neurology, and all that. And then ask them to prescribe a product or recommend those products to patients. And you get a prescription from the doctor. That's when he buys from the retailer. That's a sale. That's what we have done. And that's where I started my career. And I was in a very good company. And this company also had a collaboration with US client, US company Upjohn. Upjohn is a pharmaceutical company in US. And that's where we brought few products and we were promoting here. One was, I'm sure you know, Xanax, which was there. The same thing is sold in India as Trica. And we were promoting Trica as a brand. And then there were other products which were there. And that's how I started my career in pharma industry. And then I became a manager, regional manager. And that's how it progressed.
So we want to talk about Cialdini, but I also wanted people to know that who are they learning from, right? Yeah. And most times when people come in and they look at sales, it scares them to death.
Yeah.
So give us a few tips and tricks for the audience as to what is it that scares people about sales, and what should they avoid? Why is this such a big important thing, and You know what I'm saying is like it's so important that people learn sales for their own business, especially entrepreneurs. But when it comes to sales, people just get paralyzed. Why is that?
I think one of the biggest challenge which they have is there are so many rejections that they get. And that rejection basically happens because they don't understand what exactly the customer wants. And that again comes back to one more thing that saying that, look, people are always rewarded for answering and not for asking questions. So right from your childhood to college days or even interviews, you're always rewarded for answering and not for asking questions. And when you don't ask questions, you don't understand what the customer wants. And then you try to pitch and present it, you get the rejection there. The first thing, if at all, if anybody has to understand what is the secret of selling, is that I say people should understand whom are they promoting this product, what is the customer request there. Then only they would be able to do that, and that's how they would be able to get more and more successes. What I say.
So understand what the customer wants
Yeah,
first, and
yeah,
then pitch your product. So,
absolutely.
right. So in pharma, and I come from pharma world as well,
Yeah.
but I was a salesperson. But so when you have people coming to you, or any entrepreneur that's out there trying to promote themselves, should they one find out what the customer wants before they create their product, or should they create their product and pitch around that?
I think I feel the first one is the right one because you need to understand what is your target segment, what is your niche, whom are you promoting, and then what is the challenge that you are trying to address and what is the reward that they're going to get. And then come back with the product or something and then promote it there. But if you go with the other saying that I have a product and I will go to everybody in the world, that's not going to work on that. I think it's important to understand what's your niche, what is the customer segment, and then only it is going to work on this. Say, for example, even whatever we are promoting today on sales training, I can't go to everybody and say this is the mantra for everybody. No, that is not going to happen there. But I think it's important to understand what the customer wants, and then only you should be able. This is my perspective on that.
Okay, so we are here because we want to talk about Cialdini.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we're going to do this, but we didn't ask anybody if they want to hear it. So going back to the question is we didn't ask anybody if they wanted, why do you think this is going to be successful? I'm not throwing this under the bus. I'm just trying to make sure because I want people to get into that realm of what we are trying to do with them.
Very good. And if at all, if you ask me, those who are here, if you are in marketing, if you are in sales, if you are in business, if you are in leadership, or if you are a trainer, coach, or a consultant, then this session would be more appropriate to you, is what we say. Okay? And that will help you to become how to become a very good ethical influence persuader there. That's what I say. Our segment is going to be like that.
Okay, so we talk about influence. We talked about the Cialdini Institute. We talked about the fact that we are both Cialdini practitioners as well as certified coaches for this program. But what are we doing? So let's talk about Cialdini, right? So Cialdini, tell us a little bit what you know about Cialdini.
Oh, that's very good. A long time back, about 10, 12 years back, I got a hold on a book called as Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. Okay. And I read that book and I was fascinated with his research that he has done on the persuasion and influence, which is there for last so many 35 years now. And what he has done is that in that book, if you look at it, everything what he has recommended, what he has studied is based on science and based on the research. Whatever he has given in the book is based on some scientific evidence, a recommendation, and the solution that he provides there is also has got some evidence to do that. And that's where I said, wow, this is very, very interesting book, is what I said. But book reading and practicing is different. And then learning from somebody like Cialdini himself is different. And I know that they were not offering the certification course or something earlier, but they announced it in June. And the day they announced it in June, I enrolled it, and that's how I became a founding member. And then the Cialdini certified professional is what I say. The book is about, the fascinating thing is about everything is based on research, everything is based on science, and it gives an idea. Whoever reads this book and applied in their situation, they've got the result out of that. That also is very clearly shown on that.
Okay, so let's talk about who Cialdini is, right?
Yeah,
Cialdini was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is the state next to Illinois, right? Yes, so you
yeah,
said that.
correct.
I'm in the state of Illinois, but we live in Chicagoland.
Yeah,
And he's a professor. He's a psychologist and a professor, and he earned his Bachelor of Science degree in University of Milwaukee in
yeah,
1967.
yeah,
And then he went on to complete his PhD. So that's why he's known as a Dr. Cialdini.
yeah,
And he finished that part, he finished that part in North Carolina. And, his life works. We know that professors in the universities
yeah,
pick something and then they just go after it for years and years. They do so much
correct.
research. But his whole career has been focused on the study of influence and persuasion. And he has held various academic positions, including serving as visiting professor at Stanford University
Yeah,
and the University of California, Santa Cruz. So Cialdini also is a faculty member at Arizona State University, and he is there since 1976.
yeah,
Now, he started he he talks, when you listen to some of his podcasts or some things that he's been on, he talks about just joining. He wanted to know how people sell and what is it, because I think at one point in his life he realized that why is it that I'm sitting here, and it's happened to all of us that are
yeah,
listening.
correct.
You hear a pitch and you say, oh, I want that, I'm going to take that, and you just buy it. And then, like, immediately that after you buy it, you start thinking, whoa, what did I just do? Now, it could be a $50 purchase, it could be a $500 purchase, it could be a $5,000 purchase. But you are thinking,
Absolutely.
oh my God, what did I just do? I just spent money. And that's what happened to him. So his thing was, what are these people saying to me that allows me to open up my wallet and
Absolutely.
restart my credit card, right? And this was his whole thinking behind it. He wanted to realize what other people were saying.
Yeah,
And he based all of his studies, and he talks about this in his book. And I have the old version of Cialdini's Influence book here.
yeah,
You can get it if you're in America, you can get it at half price bookstores. This is where I got my copy at. But there is a newer version out there you can purchase on Amazon as well. But he talks about this. He goes, I don't understand. I didn't understand why people wanted to why I wanted to give my money to somebody. And what is it that they are saying to me that creates this sale for them? They are making money.
yeah,
But how many times all of us have done the same thing and opened our wallets? And I'm guilty of it as well. So this was his processing at the beginning when he first started writing the book. Now, we all know, I don't know if most people know, but his book didn't do very well.
yeah,
His book didn't do very well. And in the history of Cialdini also, what has happened is that he has taken this influence book and he has shared it with people like Warren Buffett and people like that. And
correct,
Warren Buffett was so impressed that he gave some shares, not a lot of,
correct.
I think some shares to Cialdini and said, here are Berkshire Hathaway shares. So if this book can influence people like Warren Buffett, who is like the second or third richest man in the world, then you know that this man has got some substance, right? And we all need to learn from it. So the purpose of this segments here is that we just wanted to share with you what we are planning to do and how this can affect you or influence you in your business. Do you want to add to it, Krishna?
Yes, I say only one, along with what you said, it's not about only about the sale. It is any request that you made which makes the other person to say yes to you. And the same request, if you do it in different way, you might get rejected as well. But some requested presented in different way will make the other person to say yes to you. And that's the beauty of it. And why did somebody say yes? It could be a charity institution, it could be something a politician, it could be anybody who is there. Why did they say yes? And then they came out with these seven principles, is what he said. Now, very interesting what you said about is the Warren Buffett, but it's not only about business people. It's also about some of the people in the what do you call the Nobel laureates. Also, have said something very good about Cialdini. If you look at it, Richard Branson says, if at all, if you want to know somebody who is a go-to expert in influence, it's about Cialdini. And Tony Robbins says it's one book that is required for everybody to read this. And he also says one more thing. Daniel Pink says, if you want to influence others, I think you must read Dr. Robert Cialdini's Influence book. And I'm sure one of the things that you know that Tobias Lutke, who is the Shopify founder, he said it is one of the two books which made him the billionaire. In fact, one of the best part what I liked is that Gil Kawasaki, who said godfather of influence should be named as only for Dr. Robert Cialdini. And Munira, one of the best things which I liked, a lovely comment which I heard was from Richard Thaler. He says that if the president has to have one advisor all the time, it is goes to Dr. Robert Cialdini. And somebody like both the business and the Nobel laureate says something about this book. It's worth reading this book and understanding this principle, which will help you to get more yes. That will determine your success, is what I say.
So this is why, for the audience, so this is why, as practitioners and as influencers and as certified coaches, we thought we should bring this and make people aware. There's a lot of books out there. People are doing a lot of books. They're doing book studies. But these seven principles that Dr. Cialdini has put together with studies, with data, right? This is data that has been checked again and again, and people he must have had students do this. I don't know how he did it, but he has worked on this book. But he's also now he's on a Cialdini Institute where he's sharing these principles. If you guys want to join that, contact either me or Krishna, and we can share the links with you so that you can also be a coach, certified coach, if you like the material we're going to share with you. So what are they in for? What are our audiences in for, right?
Yeah.
So tell us.
I think first thing is they should understand that these are seven principles which is there, and these seven principles, as you know, is the first one is about the reciprocity, second one is about the liking, and the third one is about the unity, and the fourth one is about the authority, fifth one is about the social proof, and sixth is consistency and commitment, and the seventh one is about the scarcity. Now, the best part in the entire thing is all these seven are arranged in a sequence that has got very interesting point. That's the beauty which came from one of his colleagues, Naidet, who says that everything, wherever you want to make somebody to say yes, ethically, when I say ethically, it is about no force, no pressure, no manipulation, no hierarchy. All this is not required. You can make somebody to say yes ethically by using this principle. And he says that if you want to build relationship, the first thing is to use the principle like reciprocity, liking, and unity. But the relationship itself will not make somebody to say yes. And that's why you need to give this social proof and the authority, which will actually reduce the uncertainty in what you're saying. And it will also help the other person to make a wise decision about what he's doing. But you made a relationship, you reduce the uncertainty, but people don't take action. People don't move into action. And that's where these two principles, commitment and consistency, and the scarcity, will actually boost the likelihood of somebody who want to say yes when you have a good relationship and the certainty is there. And that's how these are all this is through case studies. What is in that store for these people is that the next 7 sessions when they attend, we will take up each of these principles. We'll pick up beautiful case study, fascinating case study, which we'll take and help them to understand, and they will be able to immediately apply in their situation itself to get the result. This is our promise to all of our audience there. Go
Okay,
ahead, Munira. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. So this what we are going to share with you is excerpts of the books. I share, the state studies and share how you can fold them in if you are using whipped cream, right? And you were
Yeah.
folding something, you would fold them into your own business. This is easier done. When I read the book, I have had the book for years now, but I never have read it, and I never read it. And then when I started reading it, I got hooked on it, and
Yeah.
I read it three times in a row because there was always something missed. And I realized that there's a lot to this. Now, sales is something that really scares people, but
Yeah.
sales is not actually scary, because if you know what you're talking about, and if you influence the person to purchase from you, then you don't have to make that sale. You just have a conversation. And this is what we're going to share with you. So if you would like, join us here every Thursday at 7:30. We are going to be here live. We're going to talk about this. And we usually go 20 minutes, but if it's really hot topic, we will go 30. And we want to talk about the how this book can work its magic. And for those of you who don't know, I have been working at this for a while, and it has been a really interesting shift in my business as well, because I used to be scared of sales. I think I couldn't do it. But then when I started working on this, it really amazed me how this has changed the trajectory of my life, because you now have to take the principles that you learn and include them in your sales pitch, in your talks with other people, when you are networking, and you realize that the light at the end of the tunnel is coming in from different ways, and you feel like you're a star.
Yeah.
Any
Absolutely.
last words?
Yeah, Manana, I want to say something very interesting to all these people. One is that everything what we talk from in the next 7 sessions is based on science, based on ethics, and based on application. When I say this, what is that they're going to learn is a small shift in one word, one sentence, or one phrase is going to make them to get a big result. That's why all that what we are going to talk in Cialdini Institute is one with small changes that deliver big result to you. And we are going to talk about how you can make that small adjustment and changes to get more yes from the customers on that. And we promise both of us that every session that you attend, you will have a takeaway. And you'll immediately apply this in your real life situation and get phenomenal results on this. And we promise you every session is going to be exciting. Every session is going to be some takeaways that you'll have. I would say it's a wonderful return on investment of your time. That's where we promise you. Yeah.
Thank you. So this was just the introduction, and if you have had the book and you have questions about it, the first chapter we're going to talk about is what was it? I'm sorry.
We'll talk about the reciprocity itself, the first one. Okay.
We'll talk about the reciprocation, right? And how excuse me, and how this takes our business to the next level. So with that, if you have the book, go ahead and do the study with us. If you don't have the book and you want some information, contact either Krishna or me, and then we'll figure out how to give you some information on that. But I want you all to join us and then send in your questions through the Facebook or email us. You know where to find us on social media. Email us, text us. We are available. So let us know what you're looking for and what questions you have, because we are here for you. Right. And, and if you guys, think this is a wonderful idea, we can continue, but let's meet again next week and see how we can take your business to the next level. And we will be talking about reciprocation. So until then, we will see you next week. Thank you so much. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Bye, Krishna.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Munira's Musings. We hope that you found today's conversation inspiring and useful so that you can continue making progress towards mastering your own niche. Please tune in next week for another episode, and in the meantime, you can follow us on social media at Munira's Musings on Facebook and leave us a review wherever you're listening to podcasts. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.